Maybe that podcast will be your claim to fame in podcasting.
Maybe actually being with another co-host that's actually a pastor. Maybe that's what I've been missing all these years. I just want the listeners of Patreon to know that I knew I was probably going to be talking about this with Max tonight, and I thought about this around noon today, just to use that bit.
Hey, welcome to the Infinity Bros podcast, the only podcast that is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. I'm your host, Max Mosier, here today to talk about D23, the big announcement from Disney this last weekend, with a slew of updates, pieces of news, and trailers. Additionally, we're excited to review the first episode of Lanterns with you, the newest installment of the DC universe led by James Gunn. I am not alone today. Today I am joined by the Beavis to my Butthead, the Ren to my Stimpy, the peanut butter to my jelly. It is Mark Jones. Mark, how are you?
The Goofy to my Daffy Duck. Oh, JK. Did I just cross streams? I don't know Kingdom Hearts stuff.
The Donald to your Goofy.
There you go. Thank you. Donald to my Goofy.
The Sora to my Riku.
Yep. The key to your blade.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Good stuff, yes.
Yes, quite.
The red to my revolver.
Mark, how are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. As always. Just coming as I am. So just for everyone knows, if Max gets out of hand, the chair will be used. So
Yeah, that's a nice podcasting technique for those that can only hear on the podcast and can't see anything. Mark is in his beautiful.
Whoa, are you saying all our listeners are blind?
They're definitely not watching us. They're listening to us.
Who knows? Maybe we have people watching us on YouTube.
Hey, while we're here, let's just tell a couple inside jokes too.
That's what makes podcasting great. Inside jokes.
It's pretending they can see and using inside jokes they don't understand. Wherever you're listening, however you're listening, thanks for making us part of your podcast experience. You can check us out on infinitybrospodcast@gmail.com or X, Discord, Instagram, and other social media platforms.
Or by pigeon. However you do stuff.
If you'd like, you can try to reach us by pigeon. I don't know if I will respond, but perhaps Isaac does. He is the keeper of the Infinity Bros lore.
You're telling me Crown College doesn't have a pigeon nest to send letters to people?
We definitely have pigeon nests. Do I know if they're filled with letters to send and receive from other people? I haven't a clue.
Maybe you gotta ask. Maybe it's something you find in the catacombs.
I'll see what I can do. We got a heavy show today, as I talked about D23 and Lanterns. It's exciting. We're going to be reviewing, pontificating, and discussing our thoughts on it all. But maybe this is your first time listening to us, and we want to make sure you're familiar with our rating system. So we're going to go ahead and put the bumper for that right here.
Here on the Infinity Bros podcast, everything is ranked from a 0 to 6 point scale. 0 meaning horrible, and 6 meaning absolutely excellent. If all of the Infinity Bros rank something a 6, it gets an infinity step.
And additionally, we are going to talk... This is hard because it's technically not spoilers, but you and I do get in the weeds. And sometimes...
You know what? Just throw the spoiler up there. Things are going to get spoiled. That's my philosophy. If you're listening to a podcast and the episode is like, this is what we're doing, and you're like, I haven't done that thing that you're doing, but I'm going to listen anyways, and then get mad because we talked about details and spoiled stuff, that's on you, bro.
I'd agree with it on Lanterns. I think I was more speaking on the D23 stuff because you and I get into the weeds and sometimes we hear rumors. So just a generic spoiler warning. We're going to put that bumper right here.
This is...
Prepare yourself.
An Infinity Bros.
Prepare yourself.
Spoiler. Warning.
The villain in Frozen 3 is Wreck-It Ralph.
Mark, was it not just crazy that David Letterman's coming back? I am not going to beat the lead on this. I have never been more thrilled with a 24-hour announcement window in my life than I was with this. And as the residential Kingdom Hearts fan of the Infinity Bros universe. I just want to start and get it out of the way and just say I couldn't be more thrilled and excited that we have a Kingdom Hearts anime finally in development. I've been begging for this for years. I've been saying this since I was a child that I would love a show like this. And to get this announcement this week, I am not over exaggerating. This is, quite frankly, the best fictional news I've ever received in my life. Like, it's that big of a deal to me. And I'm so pumped about it. And the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff was great. I loved it, and we'll get into the weeds on that, but I just want to lead with that because I'm the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan on this show. I don't know if I'm the biggest Kingdom Hearts fan in the world. I wouldn't say that, but I love that franchise so much. And to see that franchise get love this weekend was crazy. To see it in mainstream conversation the way it has been quite a ride for me. And just thrilled, just pumped. And so I just needed to start with that right out the gate because I've been over the moon about this news, and Mark's been giving me a hard time since he heard about it. Frankly, actually, you, Isaac, and Zane, all members of the Infinity Bros podcast, have been giving me a hard time about it, which I really appreciate.
What I love is we have a few group chats, and like across all group chats is like posted about it. Like that's how much he loves it, and gets like zero response.
Yeah, the best.
But
is
also, I'm happy for Max. I'm happy Max is getting this. It's great. Like I'm not one to poo-poo on people's fandom, but it's just funny. And so then it's fun to give him crap. Like, what is it? I've never heard of it.
It is funny when you post something that only you're excited about, and everyone else just you see the little icon if somebody else sees it pop up, and nobody gives you a response to anything. It's in one hand incredibly frustrating, in the other hand encouraging that they see me. No, big weekend for D23. This was Disney's big announcement, similar to Comic-Con. And so I'll start with kind of the Kingdom Hearts 4 stuff. This was led at the beginning with some announcements. And if you want to hear our reaction to other announcements at D23, you can check out our Patreon episode for as low as $2. You can feed Infinity Bros Zane for one whole month. And Kingdom Hearts was snuck into a trailer that everybody supposed was going to be for Coco 2, which is coming out in November 2029. Miguel, the protagonist of that, will be coming back as a teenager with Benjamin Bratt. We're confirmed to be returning as Ernesto de la Cruz and being the antagonist. And Pixar decided to team up with Disney to get a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer out there, and Coco will be part of that universe. If you are not a Kingdom Hearts fan, none of it will make sense to you. If you are, it's incredibly exciting to see them connect it to all the obscure series, and we are going to finally get interconnected answers, it appears, to the convoluted world we've lived in, as well as the individuals that are in Quadratum with Sora. So I'm very excited for that. But the anime, I think, might be the bigger news for me. 6 out of 6 on both of these news, and expanding the franchise to mainstream brings me such joy. So Coco 2, are you excited for that, Mark?
So excited. Can't wait to see what those little black things are in Coco 2.
They're called Heartless. And
wow, that's gonna be fun. I saw Donald and Goofy were gonna be in it too. That'll be fun too.
You even asked me because we're in Minnesota.
We are?
Don't tell anybody. I am a pretty big Vikings fan. And Mark said, would you rather have a Super Bowl or what was the question? It was
Super Bowl victory.
Yeah.
Or I forget what it was. Something Kingdom Hearts.
It was like Kingdom Hearts 4B released today. No, Kingdom Hearts anime released. And I said, give me the Kingdom Hearts anime every time. Every time. Now that's assuming it's good. That's assuming the Kingdom Hearts anime is good. Because if it's not, the reaction I'm having right now will be inverted. It will be gross. It will be ugly. I will be
worse than WandaVision.
Oh, by far. Yeah. Oh, yeah. WandaVision will be nothing compared to that.
Can't wait. Now I kind of hope it bombs.
It's just so bad that I just throw a temper tantrum every episode on here. Kingdom Hearts 4. Looking forward to that releasing end of next year. Cannot wait. Okay, let's get to the news that everybody else cares about that nobody else wants to talk about. Nobody wants me to talk about that anymore. Star Wars had 2 big announcements. Star Wars Starfighter got a full reveal. Obviously, Sean Levy will be directing it alongside Ryan Gosling. People would remember like a month ago that it was announced those 2 are coming back to do Ghost Rider. So allegedly.
Do you think Starfighter and Ghost Rider connect at all?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say
Interesting
no,
choice.
but that's a good question. Cade Oberon, Oberon or Oberon?
Never heard of him.
You're a Star Wars guy. You're supposed to know this stuff. Ryan Gosling.
Well, that
That's the
wasn't
name
an
of the character.
actor, or
No, that's the name of the Star Wars character that
isn't
Gosling plays.
Starfighter like all new characters?
That's what I'm saying. His name's Cade Oberon. I
Well,
don't know
then
how
how
to
would I
pronounce
know
it.
if he's a new character?
I don't know. You're a Star Wars guy. I feel like Star Wars people just know how to pronounce these names.
Oh, well, I haven't looked at it.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, it's coming out May 28, 2027. And it's supposed to be good, I guess, because I don't think they do a Ghost Rider movie if they didn't think this movie was going to be good. So there you go.
Well,
So,
I think they're going to do Ghost Rider no matter what. Just would have been Ryan Gosling.
but I think this movie is good if they're letting Gosling and Levy be together.
I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
But essentially they are both movies coming from the same company, so there's also that. Could just be like, these are guys we like working with.
Right. That's why I think they have the insider baseball knowledge that it's good.
Okay, yeah. Never mind. Basically what I said answered my question. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
It just took us a little bit to get there. Pre-show, you were excited about this news, Mark. I have not been watching this show yet, although I probably will.
You haven't watched Ahsoka?
I have not, but I mean, if you
What's
listen
wrong
to
with
if you listen to any Patreon episodes, you'll know my son is a big Star Wars guy. I anticipate I'll be watching Ahsoka in the next year or two.
Will you not watch it because you won't watch like The Chosen or Righteous Gemstones?
No, I just don't like those shows. Ahsoka, I just don't really have much interest in watching. I need to get to it. It's let me rephrase that.
Did you watch The Acolyte?
I will watch Ahsoka. I have not watched Acolyte.
Did you watch Skeleton Crew with Jude Law?
I have not watched any of it.
You should watch that with your kids. That was a fun one.
I would like to watch Andor first.
Don't watch that with your kids.
Don't. Yeah, I've been told check that out. Don't watch it with my kids, and that's what I'll do.
Yeah, that's an intense show. It's great. Great
Correct.
stuff.
Ahsoka season 2 confirmed for January 20th, 2027. So right around the corner here. They gave a trailer. They'll continue the show's push to fill in the post Return of the Jedi pre-sequel trilogy era of the timeline. And it was a recap. But
What's going to be fun is we're going to have Thrawn back in the universe, and we have it seems to be a lot of Force Ghost Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka interactions. So that's going to be fun.
Will be great to have that actor back. That will be
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen's great. Put him in as many things as we can put him in right now. That's my thought process.
Do you think he'll be Magneto?
Ooh. That'd be a good casting for Magneto. Is that a rumor?
No, I just made that up right now, but we can make it a rumor.
I really like that idea, Mark.
Another post, someone asked who they think Magneto is going to be, and I said Eldridge Hodges, the guy who played, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
From Black Adam. I just only remember him as Hawkman from Black Adam. I was like, this dude needs to be Hawkman everywhere.
He's
and I'm
great.
Just like,
yeah.
And sorry, we're gonna go just basically, hey, here's a doc, we're gonna go this way. So like, if you've been paying attention, Marvel's like, hey, we're not gonna have Magneto's origin be the Holocaust, and like him going through that, and like that's why he's so anti-humans. And my thought is like, well, if you're not gonna do that, and you're gonna do modern, it's like, well, how do you do that? I think you have to do it. And it might make him a little too old, but something where it's more racially divided. Where it's like you make Magneto a black man, and then that's why he hates people. So
I don't hate
just given what, because you can make up whatever ever future or like fake history you want, but make it like a racial thing. So it's like something that makes him just hate humans, and that's why Magneto is the way he is. Because people say like, oh, do you do the X-Men without Magneto? It's like I don't think he really can, because they don't have that dynamic between Xavier and Magneto, the yin and the yang of the whole thing.
Do you think they'll cast Wolverine? We're going to get to that in a second.
It's going to be Henry Cavill. There's already been rumors that that's what it's going to be. I don't know why you would go with anyone else. It's either him or Scotty Eastwood. Those are like the two dudes. I'm like, those are the guys. You know what?
We're already talking about it, so let's just talk about it. Marvel's X-Men reboot has finally been casted. Obviously, everybody remembers Sadie Sink will be returning as Jean Grey. Spoilers for Spider-Man if you haven't seen that yet. Adam Driver will be playing Mr. Sinister. This one, I've heard the rumors, but didn't fully believe it because I feel like he's just kind of a guy that always says no. Kit Connor is playing Scott Summers. Christopher Abbott is playing Charles Xavier. Samara Weaving is playing Emma Frost. Indy Navarrete, who was in she was in Obsession,
Yep.
is going to be playing Rogue. And
It's
that,
wild. Her story is wild. Going from like a streamer asking for money to like just feed herself to being an obsession to now probably being in the future of the Marvel universe. Probably, just life changing change in like 4 years or 6 years.
I mean, she has got to be in the next Captain Marvel movie after that X-Men movie too.
Why? So she can absorb Captain Marvel?
I want her and Captain Marvel going head to head. I want to get that story going ASAP. I love that.
Secret Wars 2? Or no, not Secret Wars. Civil War 2?
Maybe. I just think she's a great actress. I think that movie was good, and she's tremendous. Maya Boyd will be playing Storm as well. No, I think X-Men, you're right. It'll be interesting to see where they go with Magneto, if they continue on with Wolverine.
You gotta. They can't make that mistake. They can't be like, this is like a DC mistake. You can't leave out the big characters. You have to have them.
That's fair.
You can't have a whole movie without Wolverine. You can't do an X-Men. Like in this day and age, even though, they're going to make it look like it's the beginning of the X-Men, it's like you still got to have a visual of Wolverine, because Wolverine is still himself. I mean, look at the first X-Men movie in 2000. You showed Wolverine out in the wild and him picking up Rogue. I don't imagine you do something like that, but like you got to have him existing.
They need Beast too. They need Beast in this.
Well, that's what they said is another rumor is like they're still, Kevin Feige said they're announcing more, and we know there's going to be an Iceman and most likely Beast, because if they're doing the origin, you got to have Beast. So like those two characters are for sure going to be cast
right
at some point.
Have to have Beast, have to have Iceman. You have to have both of them. And it'll be interesting. It is so refreshing. Years ago, Infinity War, and I understand it's been a little clunky the last couple of years with COVID, the Disney Plus shows, Jonathan Majors and his stuff that happened. I'm just encouraged because I actually feel like there's a path moving forward, and the X-Men to me feel like the logical path remaining after.
I'm still very curious how they set this up in the same 616 universe. I'm just very intrigued. I know we talked about in the Spider-Man episode where I think the Jean Grey thing is going to be what we're going to see in the next few movies, where like there's these catastrophes that involve mutants, and that's going to start driving people to be like, anti-mutants. Spider-Man, good. We're okay with Spider-Man, but mutants?
But if these mutants are doing things that are killing and hurting people, Mark, people are going to hate them. I mean, that's just going to happen. That's what's going to happen. They're going to have.
They also need to do a show where they talk about the blip and the people that all died coming back, who are like in the air and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. Have them explain that. Just the Avengers would never kill any people, but mutants would.
Yeah, the Avengers just dropped a city on top of somebody, and then they fought each other in an airport, and everybody's cool with it then. But yeah, Vision Quest confirmed for Disney Plus on October 14th. Paul Bettany returning. This is capping off, allegedly,
the trilogy.
3-part trilogy.
Are you ready to rehash WandaVision?
I realized when I said what I was reading off the paper, then I realized what I was saying was in reference to WandaVision, and I just...
You got to cap up. The whole story is going to be about him finding Speed and basically saving him.
Correct.
So that's kind of the gist, and then... But I love what are they going to do with Ultron? Is Ultron going to... Like, I go back to this, and I won't put too much flair into this before we actually get it. It's like, does this tie into Doomsday? Does Doom get involved to grab Ultron to make, like, Doom bots and stuff like that?
No, I think it does give us a lead-in the post-credit scene. I will predict that. I also think one of the blessings of a WandaVision is that it was a very creative shot. And, like, for those that love WandaVision and appreciate it, which is a majority of people, they loved how when they made that show, it was very creative. It was a different medium. It was a lot of different ways of telling a story. My gut tells me Vision Quest is going to play with a lot of that same stuff. Like, I love the facial hair on James Spader, how it's up to the side of his face, showing how Ultron had those side panels on his mask. I think those are just like cool creative decisions. It looks kind of goofy and weird. It's one of those shows I'm like, nobody really asked for this, but okay.
Do you think the Lizard King got to call him Feige? He's like, I played Ultron? When?
I'm the Lizard King. I really don't know. Maybe they are just trying to cap that story off and then just like close it up and never talk
I
about
just
it
don't know
again.
why you bring Ultron back without him sticking around. Like, are we just doing another weekend at Ultron, just like we did with the Avengers?
Yeah,
Age of Ultron.
like,
It should have been a weekend of Ultron.
is it going to be a weekly release? Let's look that up.
Probably. It'll probably lead us right into if it. I'll predict this before you say anything. If it is a weekly release, I bet it leads us just a few weeks before Doomsday, and then for sure you have to have a post-credit scene
Yeah,
that makes you
it's
jack
going
for
to be an
Doomsday.
8-week release, October 14th.
Whether it be like December 9th area.
It literally would be up till Tuesday. Actually, I think you're right. That's
So
actually
there. So
fascinating.
now, like you don't do that and not have a tie-in at the end of the series. So then it's like 2 days later, you're like, I gotta go freaking see Doomsday. You probably already have the tickets if you're watching Vision Quest, but you know.
I thought the trailer was really interesting and creative and something I didn't expect. I don't know what to expect with this. I just don't know. I just don't know what to think about this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is expected to end of November. So, yeah, our first week of December. Excuse me. Doomsday got its first real showcase moment outside of San Diego Comic-Con with the cast assembled for an exclusive trailer debut ahead of the December 18th release. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU, this time to play Doctor Doom. Obviously, Chris Evans is returning to play Steve Rogers, not Captain America. Let's just get that right now for those that are going to go back to the theater that weren't there. Sam Wilson is now Captain America. What did you think of the second trailer, Mark? What's your rating of it?
6 out of 6. It was great. Good stuff.
You sounded
Yeah.
facetious when you said that. Do you really mean that?
No, I
Okay.
love it. It was good.
Okay, good.
I'm happy we're getting Sentinels powered by Doom. That'd be fun for them to battle. It kind of makes it seem with that second trailer like, did they fight each other? And then they're like, actually, we should be teammates type of situation with how they all looked injured and disheveled and stuff like that. Another thing that made me think, thinking of WandaVision, when he says, hell answers to me, I'm like, he's got the power of Mephisto. He's totally have, like, if he's saying that, like, either he's just, that's just a good line, or it's like he has Mephisto magic embedded in his armor.
I don't know if it's going to be like Mephisto magic. It'll probably be parallel to Mephisto magic from another planet, right?
I don't
Maybe
know.
a
I
different
thought like
universe?
those, like the gods, like were able to go to a different dimension, so like they're omnipresent to all the universes. Or is that not how that works?
Doom's magic has kind of changed over the years too. Some of it is science based. Some of it is Mephisto. You're not wrong. He does have Mephisto arcs.
Well, it's kind of like the, you know, some of the runs where his armor is infused with like the souls of the demonic. So
You're right,
and that's why he can be more powerful than Thor.
right. Yeah, I thought this trailer did a great job of giving us who this character is. Mark, you have a big theory that is aligned with much of the internet at the moment, which is
I would like to say I've had this theory. I know where you're going. I've had
Yeah.
this theory for a long time, and people were like, "This is where the origin of the theory is." And I go look and find that date, and it's like, "F you guys." I've definitely been talking about this way longer.
And I'm going to have your back on that. I do think you said this a while ago. So go ahead and describe your theory.
My theory is Robert Downey Jr. is in the movie, but I think he's a red herring to actually being Doom. I think it is a different character or a different actor that's going to be shown, and like that will be the real Doom. A lot of people say it's Cillian Murphy, and I've seen like the comparisons, like his eyes, like the person's great eyes. It's like, well, it's a movie; they can color their eyes. Like I think that's just a dumb theory. But my theory's been, if anything, if it's gonna, we have to boil it down to is it could be something where the real Doctor Doom is inhabiting or possessing a Tony Stark body to like fool the Avengers.
Oh, sure.
But ultimately, like the main theory is that Robert Downey Jr. is a red herring to like keep the real Doom secret. But then we probably have either two Dooms or a real Tony Stark and a Doom. But so that's kind of,
and then in Secret Wars he can come back as Tony Stark. Is what your thoughts
right.
are? Yeah. I don't buy it. I still, one of us is definitely right here.
You want to know another theory I thought up today?
No, I would love to hear.
So at the end of Fantastic Four, where we all thought it was Doom, but I think now the internet's kind of been like, they think it's one of Doom witches.
Yeah.
And it goes to the child. What if the Doom witch that's green is a variant of Sue Storm? And that's what Franklin is like. Yeah, I'll go to it's mom. So
I love the idea that the witches are characters that Doom has taken under his wing. Perhaps they're characters from the 616. Perhaps they're characters from other universes that look like characters from the 616.
another theory has been Peggy Carter's one of the witches.
Yeah, that I feel like has to happen, probably because you're bringing Steve Rogers into the fold, and you're going to have to give him a moment to
Put his defenses down.
so that Doom can kill him. I personally love the idea that this is how Loki gets beat. It's Sylvie. I like the idea that this is where Doctor Doom has been the whole time, or excuse me, Doctor Strange has been the whole time, and where Clea have been the whole time. Because if you're going this direction, where the heck are those two people? Is a real question mark. I think Doctor Strange is in this movie. I feel pretty good about saying he's got to at least appear third act, especially if they're following the Hickman run. He's not confirmed, but
Benedict Cumberbatch is not confirmed for this movie.
He's not. But if they are going the direction that they say they're going, following the Hickman run, Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange literally are the two beings alongside Molecule Man that make Battleworld. So I anticipate Benedict Cumberbatch is in at least Secret Wars. He has to, at the bare minimum, make it appear.
Do you think we get a Molecule Man? Or Molecule Man, or will that be filled with Reed Richards? What's your thoughts?
I think it's Reed Richards' son that does it. He's the Molecule Man, and he's tricked by Doom. And the question is, how is Doom going to do that? And maybe that is Mystique. Maybe that's why they have Mystique in this, she plays the role of Sue Storm to save her planet. I don't know.
Another thought that I just popped in my head that we didn't talk about when we talked about the first trailer is we don't see Franklin at all when they're in Avengers Tower. You would think Franklin would be with them.
He's somewhere. He's definitely in a shot with Johnny Storm in the second trailer.
But clearly looks like and in the first trailer, I think you see them too.
Yeah, the first trailer was like his hair. We didn't know who it was, but then the second trailer, it's zoomed out. Yeah.
That's where it's like, did they intentionally leave him out? Because like, why would you, if what we're grasping is Doom's going after the kids because he's mad that they're happy and stuff, you would think they would have their child with them. Or maybe their child's been abducted and that's why they're traveling the multiverse.
I don't know if he's going after the kids as much as the kids are a representation of the life these characters have now.
Well, that's the whole second trailer is like you're living stolen lives, and all their children wouldn't exist without what they did.
But an incursion would naturally take care of the kids. He wouldn't have to capture the kids.
Yeah, but I think he's making incursions happen. I think that's what we're going to find out.
That I believe is what the reveal will be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Like he's basically being the judge and executioner of these universes,
right?
Because something was took from his wife and child were taken from him.
Yep. Nope. I wholeheartedly believe the incursions in Doom. Like I've heard some people say Doom's not even really the villain, and that's all. The Doomsday thing is just a red herring. He's actually a good guy, and he'll turn at the very end. I'm like, that ain't happening. Doom is definitely a bad guy.
Right, but that's us as the audience knowing that. But I think that might not be too far off.
It reminds me of the second Spider-Man movie with Mysterio, where people were like, well, maybe Mysterio's like just actually a good guy. And it's like, no, he's not. And don't fall for that.
And if we're going with stuff that we've seen in the trailer actually show up in the movie, Reed does get mad at a Doom. So Doom at some point. So at some point, whether it's in the beginning or the end, Reed has been like, you've been maybe we've been at ends but not foes, and what have you done? So
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that conflict. And the crowd that says this hasn't been set up Need I remind you, Thanos was just sitting on a chair for multiple movies?
I love that where it's just like, yeah, what we got 5 minutes of Thanos before we got Infinity
Yeah.
War.
And I'll hear that in the original Avengers his head turned, but frankly, nobody cared or knew who that guy was at that time. That
Are
tease
people mad at George
literally
Lucas for
meant
not giving
nothing.
us Darth Vader movies before we got Star Wars? Like,
That's perfect parallel. Like, it's just, there are certain villains that don't need it. I do believe Doom is that. And I don't want to hear Marvel get criticized for the Jonathan Majors thing, because I think they played it right. The Kang thing wasn't going well, and Jonathan Majors got in legal trouble. So they
do you
moved on.
think with Doom, I just feel like this could be an opening scene where there's clearly he goes to the TVA. You would think, depending on when he goes there, or if at all, that there is some resolution with the King. So, like, to me, it's like if we don't get, this is where I'm going with this. If we don't get in some point in this movie, which I would assume would be in the beginning of him kind of taking out the Kings, and if like that's how we like wrap that up, it's like, yeah, that's how powerful he is. He killed all the Kings. But if we don't touch Kings at all, to me, it's like they're still planning to use King at some point.
Well, and also Kang is a variant. So like we can have a different actor play him.
Yeah.
That was always my issue with the Jonathan Majors thing. I was kind of sitting there going like, we could pick different actors. There's a lot of good actors that could keep this going.
I felt the same way about Black Panther. I don't think we should have.
I hear you, and they're kind of backdooring that now, but that's neither here nor there. I think Marvel looked at it and said, we're just going to blame Jonathan Majors, and they knew this isn't going well. Ant-Man didn't go well. Loki was good, but we probably shouldn't have put all our eggs on one actor's basket. I think they really thought, oh, we'll have him play 10 different characters, and this will be great. And they're just kind of learning that's not going to work. So that's okay. Have people stick with one, maybe two or three. But yeah, it's not going to work. So, well, let's hop over to HBO's Lanterns. The synopsis for Lanterns read: Lanterns follows veteran Green Lantern Hal Jordan, played by Kyle Chandler, paired with new recruit John Stewart, played by Aaron Pierre, as they investigate a murder in the small town of Rushville, Nebraska. What starts as a local case unravels into an extraterrestrial conspiracy tied to larger cosmic threats. The show runs on two timelines, 2016 and 2026, playing more like a detective drama than a traditional superhero show, with DNA that has True Detective and Slow Horses. The current Rotten Tomato score for this is a 95% from the critics, with an 86% from audiences. Usually you see that inverted mark. I think when we talk about reviews on this show, we've seen that inverted. I would imagine that has to do with the ending of this episode. The consensus praising fearless performances, grounded writing, and charismatic chemistry. They're also singling out Kyle Chandler as a close to perfectly good cast. I'm putting that in quotes. I'll be curious to know what your thoughts are. Mark, what are your thoughts on episode 1? What is your rating of Lanterns episode 1, the pilot?
I would give this a 6 out of 6. I was locked in the whole time. I enjoyed the pairing of these two actors and how they played their characters, where it was basically two alpha males fighting for the ring, it kind of felt like. And I thought there was enough good secrecy in there. There was enough pushing some of the plot and giving you context for future stuff, which I think a lot of people have given the ending hate, where it's like, well, they set up for it to be a mystery. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm just happy. I'm jacked that we have John Stewart, Green Lantern, on live action. I've been waiting for this since I was a boy. So pumped. Can't wait for more. I'm all in. And I got a question for you. There's a scene when they're in 1996, when John Stewart's just a boy, and his dad comes home.
Yeah.
Who's a military, and clearly they weren't supposed to be up. But at the same time, it's like, I think he's been grooming his son to be potentially the next Green Lantern. Did not have fear, because that's, the big thing is lanterns can't have fear. And puts an apple on his head, and his dad shoots it off of his head, which I find crazy. But what I found more wild is people online be like, "Oh, that would never happen. No military dad would ever do that." I'm like, let's ask Max on the podcast if he believes that's true. Not saying Max's dad is
my dad. Person, but my dad never abused me. My dad was great. He was a
is a
Yeah.
military brat.
A
That's why he's
military brat.
lived in
Yeah.
Spain for like 20 years. And so he's been around this. And I guarantee Max has some stories of other military dads that would be borderline to that point that we saw in Lanterns.
No, that is par for the course for many military dads. So thanks for
Yeah.
saying that. Additionally, the mindset of use the word grooming, and I don't know if there's a better word to describe that, but preparing is maybe the phrase.
That's what it's doing. You could say
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
training him, but like
Yeah.
due to the extreme that he's doing, that's grooming's the right word for it.
The extreme training is on par for military culture. And let me give my rating here before I dive into that, because there's a couple chunks in this episode we got to talk about. First, I'm going to give this a 5.8 out of 6. I loved this episode. I thought it was so good. My only gripe, and frankly, I'm taking some shots at J.J. Abrams right now, is he has a history of doing these pilots and having unbelievable pilots that just can't keep going down the line. And as a Lost fan, like the story goes, he wrote the pilot without any idea of where this thing was going down the stretch. And he's just done this with a couple shows. And hearing some commentary, and I'm not in this hyper aggressive category of fandom that's going, they have to have the ring every 5 seconds. I was disappointed to not see the ring showcased more. And I understand the first 20 minutes you're trying to build a little mystery behind that, but I'm hoping the rest of this series we get more showcasing of the ring and popping that green. I want that green to be bright. I don't want it to be muted. I don't want it to be less than. And so, but overall, you're right, Mark. The pairing of Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler is just the chemistry is through the roof. I cannot wait for Nathan Fillion to show up in this show. He is going to add a third dimension to this that I think will be hilarious and brilliant. This show is funny, but it's going to get funnier when he gets in it. And the mystery is there. So to get back to your question about the dad knows something we don't. There's to me, there's 3 ways this goes. 1, he hates aliens and he's trying to take down aliens with Green Lantern. 2, and that's he's connected to like the militia that we find out. 2, he's a manhunter and his son doesn't even know it. And his son's dad was killed a long time ago by a manhunter. And he's going to find out about it. And his Aaron Pierre, who plays John Stewart, who is my Green Lantern growing up, this character is going to have to be challenged on this military background. Do I embrace this or do I not? Because that's quintessential to the John Stewart character. Or 3, it's just he wants to take Green Lantern because he doesn't like that Hal Jordan's Green Lantern for some reason, and maybe there's a connection to their family. Those are the 3 ways I see this going.
I would believe that he has an inside knowledge because his dad's in the military, and I think they said the Air Force, so would kind of maybe have some intel of something like this.
The Manhunter thing is real though, and
that's another thing. Are we going to get John Jones in here, or John, well, however you want to pronounce his name?
Well, remember the Manhunters they're the police that they're like the big robot police that go out throughout the universe. They're different than Martian Manhunter. They are robots.
No, but I get what you're saying. But with like throwing the Manhunter name around in a show, to me, it's like the casual fans. I'm sorry, I should add context, not just be like Martian Manhunters. That with this being a space show, that one would assume, especially with a lot of shape shifting and body manipulation, that we would have the Martian Manhunter in the show at some point.
Maybe he's at the end. I love the prospect of, because they spelled this out in the pilot. We're jumping way to the end, but they say this at the end. They say, John Stewart says, there's 14 different creatures that could look like us, and we'd have no other way of knowing other than them telling us. Like, someone we saw in this episode is a manhunter. It could be Hal Jordan. He could be dead for a really long time, and that's why John Stewart was able to see his hologram, and it could be that he's a manhunter, and the reason Hal Jordan wanted to talk to that robot in this episode was because he wanted to kill him, and the 2026 Hal Jordan is the real Hal Jordan. I don't know. I'm not saying that's my prediction. I'm just saying the only person I don't think is manhunter in this is John Stewart. That's it. I think everyone else is up for grabs, and I have zero clue. With you and I have pretty good DC knowledge. I have no clue where they're going with this on the militia part, and I love that. And
Right.
that part gets me jazzed. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, I got no connections. And it did feel eerily similar to Spider-Man when they were throwing around VMAX, where I was like, am I stupid? Do I just not know what's going on? So
I
they
think
could be
that's
running
what they
something.
did a good job. They did a good job of making it just like, what mystery are we going to be solving? I think that's
Yeah.
what makes a good, procedural show. Not really procedural, but like a cop show
Yeah.
is trying to investigate and figure out what's going on. Because I think that town has more to say. But clearly, when we did the jump, the ranch is basically non-existent. So something happens. But yeah,
Yeah. I think Aaron Pierre, to me, I don't know if there's a better casting in DC than this. I'm including Superman. Corn Sweat, I think, is an awesome Superman. I just think Pierre was born to play this role. He exudes military, stoic, under control, but inside has demons to wrestle with. That is Jon Stewart. And I am itching to see him and Guy Gardner go back and forth because they've made the rule here that it's one ring per sector.
well, I bet
So,
what we're going to see, or what we get towards the end of the movie or show, is the reason why Guy Gardner has a lantern ring is these two, they had to make both Hal and Jon Stewart a lantern because they needed help off world, and that's why they had to give the sector another ring. And I think we'll probably be in a universe where, because if you look closely, if you remember the Superman movie, his lantern ring looks totally different to the one that Hal Jordan has.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Guy Gardner gets in but I mean, could an argument be made like, can they manipulate the rings? Can they make them look differently to exude what they want them to look like?
I don't know if the lantern has that power
I don't know either. I'm just saying in
to just
this
create a ring.
universe, I'm not saying create, I'm saying could they manipulate the appearance of the ring to fit their
Oh,
costume?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Weird.
I'm more so saying there's a lot of mystery here. There's definitely stuff that's not going on. There's definitely stuff we don't know. Some of the stuff that threw me through the loop, Jon Stewart sleeping with the militia's wife was like out of left field for me. Kind of a weird choice.
I was like, oh wow, we're getting to the first 20 minutes a superhero banging somebody.
You know, in a movie or like when I'm with my parents and I watch a PG-13 movie and there's an inappropriate scene and your parents just look at you like, why did you recommend this movie to us? The inverse of this happened to me where I was watching this and my son came out asking for a glass of water during this scene yesterday. So that was a really tough moment. And I had to quit out of the show and he's like, what's going on? I was like, so yeah,
You couldn't
that was
just
brutal.
go downstairs and watch it. I suppose we didn't know if that was going to happen. Like, that's
I
what
didn't know it
think.
was going to happen, but also Sarah had worked overnights, and so she was napping on the couch next to me. So anyway, now I love this casting. Kyle Chandler was born to play a superhero. It's just Hal Jordan's a great one. Do you think we're getting Parallax, Mark? You think he's turning into Parallax eventually? I feel like you don't go a retired Hal Jordan without aiming to do Parallax at some point.
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if that's something that we would get, because then it means like, are we going to have him be a constant villain? Because like at some point we're going to get Sinestro. So I don't know.
Yeah,
What makes you think that? What have you read that made you think that?
it's not that I've read anything. It's I just when I heard it was Kyle Chandler late in his career, my first thought was Parallax. Because when I heard the rules were one ring in one sector, well, it has to be Parallax because you have to give Jon Stewart this ring eventually. So
Right.
and the death scene is funny to me because the death scene could mean nothing. We could find out next week that means nothing. We could find out that's a Manhunter. We could find out that's Hal Jordan, but then he's Parallax 2 episodes later. That reveal is big. I get the crowd that's frustrated that Hal Jordan died.
Yeah, but I don't think that's Hal Jordan.
No, I
That's
think
why
there's more to the story here than just Hal
we were
Jordan
told too
died.
much about human manipulation to really believe that, to go all in that. Yeah, they just killed Jon Stewart 10 years later.
Hal Jordan, you mean?
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to lead to, because clearly Jon Stewart looked at his hand. That was like the big thing, and I wonder if he was looking for like a ring burn or like a ring tan to see.
They were definitely looking for a ring, I thought.
So, and I assume Jon Stewart has the ring at that point, right? Are we
Yeah, I
assuming
didn't
that?
see his. I guess I didn't look closely enough.
Or if that's what we're going to say, like he's Green or Guy Gardner is the Green Lantern. But that's the rule they set up at the beginning of the movie. Doesn't mean that changes, and that's where it might. My theory is they might be called back, and they need both of them to be Green Lanterns, and that's why.
That's interesting. That's an interesting theory that I haven't
That's why
thought
Guy
of.
becomes the Green Lantern in the sector.
That this event, whatever happens in Rushville, triggers the Guardians going, "Hey, we got to have another one. We have to break the rule here." That's really interesting. I love that prospect. I do think Guy Gardner has their ring. That's what I will say. It makes too much sense.
It'd be interesting because then it's like, what, you're gonna take away Guy Gardner's ring?
You can't. Guy Gardner. So then we're getting into the territory you're in, and this is just, again, I really enjoyed this episode. I have a hard time seeing J.J. Abrams closing the loop here. He's just had so many moments as a writer where he gives us a great idea.
For this? You keep bringing up his name. I feel like I've never seen his name attached to this.
Oh yeah, he's a big writer in this. I'm sorry, I've said J.J. Abrams, and I've Damon Lindelof. I apologize. Damon Lindelof.
I've been Googling, and I was like, okay, you need to tell me.
No, that was my mistake. They're both so connected because they've done a lot of projects together. I apologize. Okay. Please forgive me. Damon Lindelof is who I was referencing. Damon Lindelof wrote and created this series. He's getting credit alongside Tom King, Vanessa Baden, Justin Britt Gibson, Brienne Gibson, and Christopher Cantwell, as well as Chris Mundy. So, yeah, I just see right now a mystery that if I do think the fans that are ticked, if this mystery is not in a neat bow, it's going to create a lot of problems for this universe.
Right.
And this is the issue you run when you do a connected universe. And Marvel's run into this with their TV shows. So when you do the serialized storytelling, this stuff has ripple effects. And frankly, these heroes have probably more impact on the greater universe than Superman does, given what they showed us in Superman. That's just my opinion. I loved it, though. I thought it was a really good episode. And I know that Jon Stewart is going to be in the next Superman. He is slated to be in the next Superman. So I hope they set him up well. I really, really hope that.
Another question I had for you with thinking about the show where Hal Jordan is like convinced that one of them is a manhunter on the field. Do you think if we go back to like this current Hal Jordan that we've seen is a manhunter themselves or another alien of some kind that's shapeshifted themselves into Hal Jordan, would have maybe, I don't know, the lawyer, like, do manhunters know who other manhunters are? Can they tell? Can they sense it?
Yeah.
And that's how he was able to decipher that?
I'm sure we'll get rules of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we will. But yeah, the manhunter thing, I think my bold prediction is someone we saw as a manhunter, and we just don't know it yet. Could be Hal Jordan himself. It could be just it was so curious that they spent so much time talking about it, and then they show the hologram, which that was out of left field. I've read a lot of comics in my time. I don't remember that, so that was interesting. At least the way they did it. I guess they've done it with like the glowing green. I've seen it out of a ring, I guess, but yeah, that was out of left field. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see how that all ties together.
Right.
But yeah, will I be back week to week? You better believe I will. But DC, this has to go well for DC. You and I were saying this pre-show, like DC, has to feel pressure with what Marvel's doing right now, and how bad Supergirl was. It was just, they're gonna need bad in terms of box office. I mean,
mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you seen Supergirl yet?
I saw it opening weekend.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah.
I reviewed it.
Maybe we reviewed it.
We sure did.
I don't remember that.
We sure did, Mark. That says a lot more about what you think of Supergirl.
It was fun, but not memorable. That's all I remember.
It was. I wouldn't make that my number 2 choice, but other people decided that was their number 2 choice. That's okay.
Number 2 choice should have been a Batman movie.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to do the major ones. We want to do more obscure ones.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you not like money? Do you think Sony does Spider-Man because they want to?
Matt Reeves is
They
taking
have to.
8 years to make a Batman movie. Oh my gosh.
At this rate, they're going to have to do the Dark Knight Returns series when Robert Pattinson's 58 by the time they get to the final.
If it gets desperate, just bring out Old Faithful and have Zack Snyder close that Justice League arc
Have you
out.
heard that Zack Snyder has a Dark Knight Returns script ready to be produced? I say give it to him. Let him do it. Let him do it. I would love it.
Let him do the next Justice League movie. That's my perspective.
No, don't have him do these. Have him do the extended universe stuff that James Gunn has harped on, or the Elseworlds, however they're calling it.
I think Matt Reeves is doing great with Batman. My problem is Matt Reeves is such a good writer that he won't get out of his own way to write and get this thing done.
See, also another knock on Warner Brothers and DC is how long, or it may not even happen, a season 2 of The Penguin. You have a show that gets nominated for 9 Emmys, and you don't have that on the docket to release in next year. Or even
Marvel's in the same boat though with Wonder Man, Mark.
Well, Marvel decided to cancel any show that had a black person in it, so they can go F themselves.
They sure did.
So that's a totally different thing altogether. None of the Marvel shows were up for 9 Emmys. The Penguin was. So DC and Warner Bros. Is choosing not to continue with their good stuff that does well. Marvel's just like, we don't want to spend money on people of color because that's bad.
Wonder Man will get nominated for Emmys, and I think Wonder Man might win.
Maybe.
Wonder Man is deserving.
I want more Wonder Man. I honestly want another Ironheart season after.
Yep.
Where they're like, hey, we brought you Mephisto, and we infused her suit with magic. So, to me, it's like, Ironheart might be someone you want to battle Doom, because will he be prepared to have Mephisto infused magic? I don't know.
The way season 1 ended of Ironheart was so much better than the first 3/4 of Ironheart.
Right. I thought there was this is
crazy
a
ending.
Yeah. It's like the reverse of Miss Marvel. It literally is. Like the first 3 episodes of Miss Marvel, I'm like, this is going to be fantastic. And then just lost me.
Miss Marvel first 2 episodes, we were like, holy buckets. And then the back 6, we were like, what?
Yeah. No, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, what did you think of Kingdom Hearts 4? What did you think of the Star Wars news? What did you think of the Marvel news? What did you think
I didn't think of Kingdom Hearts.
What did you think of Lanterns? We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your feedback. InfinityBrosPodcast@gmail.com. You can also shoot us messages on our various social media accounts or go to the link in the show notes to be part of the conversation. Join our Patreon for as low as $2 a month. You too can help a Zane Ellis get fed for a month. So, Mark, thank you for taking time on this busy week to connect, and I look forward to talking more Lanterns as the year go on with you.
I'm glad we can connect, and I hope we connect more on Lanterns.
I do too, I think.
Good.
Well, Infinity Bros Universe, wherever you're listened, however you listen, thanks for making us part of your podcast experience. We'll see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Infinity Bros podcast. You can find the Infinity Bros on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube at the Infinity Bros. You can also check out our website at theinfinitybros.com for links, reviews, and sweet merch. Feel free to send listener feedback via social media or email at infinitybrospodcast@gmail.com.